Good morning, Nina and I. Welcome back to the Stay My Podcast, where you are our stories. I'm your host, Zoe Joe, with my co-host
Lily?
and my special guest.
Shellee Howard.
And with that, let's get started. We're very excited that we
Yes.
have Shellee with us today. She is a college counselor from College Get Ready. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Shellee Howard, and I'm the founder and CEO of College Ready. We help students in middle and high school and college transfer students get into college and graduate without debt. So I've been doing this 18 years, and my mission is to help a million families get accepted to college and graduate without massive debt.
I love that. Oh my gosh. What inspired you to become a college strategist?
It was my firstborn, and he had some big hopes and dreams. He came home one spring day. He was in eighth grade, and he says, "Mom, I know exactly what I want to do." And I'm like, "What? You're in eighth grade. How do you know it?" And he says, "Mom, the high school counselor came to our school and said we needed to pick our first classes, and we should probably be thinking about what we should do. So I decided I want to be a brain surgeon." And I was like, wow, okay, great. We have no medicine in our family, but sure, that sounds great. And so I started really seeking support. And what I realized is I was getting a lot of mixed messages. A lot of people would tell me one thing, and then the next day I'd find out something different. It was really frustrating. So I ended up going back to college, got my master's. Then I went back and became an independent educational college consultant. That was 19 years ago. And so I have been helping families ever since. In the last 18 years, our families have earned over $80 million in scholarships. That is the promise that I make to my families is not only to get accepted, but to also win the scholarships they deserve.
That's so great, especially since we both are rising seniors. That's very
Yeah.
prevalent to us. So, you mentioned that before. What's one thing people assume about college admissions that isn't really true?
Wow, there's a lot of assumptions. That's a great question. The first assumption is that college is too expensive and therefore they cannot go. And there are 10 colleges that are tuition free. All you have to do is work at the university. So I like to dispel that myth right away. The second is that families make too much money to get scholarships. That is completely wrong. There are four buckets of money. There's the independent bucket, the merit-based bucket, the institutional bucket, and the need-based bucket. So, four buckets of money. All four of my children, my oldest went to Harvard, graduated debt free, went on to UC San Diego Medical School, and just finished as an orthopedic surgeon at UCLA.
Wow.
My second went to the University of Alabama and graduated debt free. She's now a registered nurse in the pediatric ward of emergency room. My third went to San Francisco State and is now doing PA school at the University of Berkeley. And my fourth went to the Czech Republic of Prague and studied at American Anglo University while touring Europe, got her international and US degree at the same time for $27,000 total. So even in my own family, I like to let families understand there's so much money. My kids are no different than anybody else's kids. It's just I was on a mission to figure it out. And so the institutional money is picking the right college for the right student. The independent scholarships, right now there's a scholarship for $10,000 if you're a vegan. There's so much money that's available, and you can start applying as young as fourth grade. Yet, many students never apply to scholarships. The final bucket is going to be based on your merit. What are you really good at? Is it your sport? Is it your music? Is it your grades, your test scores? Like, what are you really good at? Because you're going to get money for that. So I want families to understand money should not be the barrier. The
Mhm.
only thing that should be the barrier is lack of desire. And if you don't desire to go, then that's a choice as well. Not everybody needs to go to college. but there is a path for every single student.
That's really
Wow, that's so
inspiring.
interesting. Yeah. You work with students that are obviously under a lot of pressure. What are the biggest fears you hear from teenagers today, and what advice would you give them?
Well, the number one thing I hear is they don't ever feel they're good enough. I've never met with a student and they're like, "I'm good. I'm so good. I'm gonna get in everywhere." And even the ones with the perfect GPA and the perfect test score and on and on and on, they're just as fearful as every other student. And so the advice I would give them is get the right information. We can show every student the exact GPA, the exact test score, how many service hours, how many leadership, how many extracurriculars that students got into school. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Name the school, it doesn't matter. And so if you know that you need this GPA and this test score and you can't achieve it, that simply means it's not a great fit school. You may love it, but do you really want to go to a university where everybody else is fighting for the 1A and you're going to fight for the B or the C? So it really comes down to finding your best academic, social, and financially fit university. There are so many great schools, over 2,700 schools. Yet a lot of students feel like it has to be this school or it's not going to be good enough. And I will tell you, when my son got into Harvard, he also had a full ride at USC.
Sorry.
And it's okay. And it's important that you can find the best fit school. For my son, he got his very first B at Harvard and he was okay with it. Right? So you have to have the right mindset going in. Do you want to be the big fish in the small sea or the small fish in the big sea? Do you want to only go to school for academia or do you want to experience the football games and the social life? Having that knowledge of who you are, what matters to you, and the impact you've made is really going to help set you apart for not only getting into college, but also doing it without taking on massive debt.
That, yeah, that's well, I think included like not just students, but parents are definitely really stressed as well. How could parents support their children without having to add that extra pressure?
So, as a parent of four, I've walked in your shoes and I totally know what it feels like. I have two boys and two girls. And what I will tell you is the times I was the most stressed is when I lacked the knowledge. When I would hear one thing, you need to do this, 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 and this, and then I would hear the exact opposite because it made me feel so helpless instead of in the know. And so I offer my podcast listeners a complimentary 30-minute call where I can help you to have the right information. All you have to do is go to collegereadyplan.info. So it's collegereadyplan.info. 30 minutes, you will know everything you need to know to get rid of all of that stress. It's that lack of knowledge or feeling like it's changed so much since you went to university that you have no idea where to start. Or maybe you went in another country and you don't know how the system works. Or maybe you didn't go to college and you don't know how to help your child. The one thing I will tell parents that will help take some stress away is figuring out who is going to do the academic strategy, the test strategy, the community service strategy, the leadership strategy, the extracurricular strategy. It's having all of these pieces that are there, but nobody has ownership. And then expecting your 17-year-old to understand how to do all of this on their own is really not fair. And I would encourage you to ask your student how many times they've met with their high school counselor. Many parents think that the high school counselor is managing all of this. And I don't know about you ladies, but that is not what I have seen to be true.
No.
Just curious, Lily, how many times have you met with your high school counselor?
I'd say like this year, maybe like 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about prior to this year?
Prior to this year, I'd say like 3 to 4 times, not a lot of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Zoe?
This year, maybe 2 or 3 times. Prior years, maybe once to talk about scheduling, but that's about
Yep.
it.
And that's pretty normal. So that's what I want parents to understand. It's you're doing everything you all know, think you need to do. You're chasing the research and the internships and the scholarships and you're checking all of the boxes. But here's the thing. Colleges don't want you to check boxes. That's easy. It's not hard to sign up and show up, right? Anybody can be a tutor. You're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you don't understand? Ah, I can help you." That is not what colleges want to know. They want to know, who is Lily? What has Lily done? And how has Lily proven that she wants to do X, Y, and Z? They want to know why Zoe wants to come to my school, and why does Zoe think she's going to be successful, and what has Zoe proven so they know that she's successful. That's nothing to do with checking boxes. My son who got into Harvard did not do a research project, did not do an internship, and did not pay for one of those high price summer programs. He had a 4.6 GPA. He had a lot of other really cool stuff, but he didn't have a perfect test score. He didn't have a perfect GPA. That's the thing I want people to understand. If you're just listening to all of the craziness out there, you're going to be stressed out. If you give me a call in 30 minutes, I can bring all of you down to be, wow, that's it? That's all I have to do? It's amazing when you know what needs to be and you know what doesn't matter. It takes away all the stress from the whole family and helps you to decide who is going to do what in this process. And essays are a critical piece. So don't think for a moment that you should rush through the essay section. That is, think of it like the icing on the cake, right? Your application's the cake. You've done this and this and this, this. You've told them everything you've done. But is it exciting? Is it juicy? Is it like, whoa, they're going to fight for you? Probably not. That essay where they're going to connect to you and be like, I absolutely have to have Zoe at this school. Lily must be in my business school. That's what we need universities to understand. They're fighting for you as much as you are fighting for you. But colleges know who's going to be successful at their school and who is not. And so, as much as that rejection hurts, I get it, right? It's actually a blessing in disguise that they know that it's not a good fit. And when you pick the right college, I promise you, it's a brilliant fit. And most students are like, but it wasn't my dream school. And they call me, Shellee, it's the perfect school. And so sometimes it's not the brand name. Sometimes it's a perfect academic, social, or financial fit that connects you to the alumni, that gives you that job opportunity, that career that sets you up. So I encourage you and your friends and your family, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's just your lack of knowledge. That's it. Once you have a plan and you know what you need to do, it's just truly getting it done.
Yeah. Wow, that was inspiring. I guess my next question, would you say that getting into a prestigious college is like as important as people make it seem?
For certain majors, yes. For certain majors, no. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, yes. Yes, it does matter. My son just got married. He just graduated 15 years of college, university after high school. And at his wedding, I asked 12 of his college roommates who all went to Harvard. Individually, I asked them, just curious, was it worth it? Was it worth everything you did to get in? Was it worth the experience you had? And was it worth the job or career you now have? Everyone said 110%. Not one of them regretted any of it. I will tell you this. I asked my daughter's friends who went to the University of Alabama the same question, and they all said it was the perfect fit school, and they are super happy with the decision they made. So it really is more about the student and their career. My daughter, who went to nursing, they didn't care where she graduated from. They cared how well she did on the NCLEX, her clinical hours. Like they were more about the practical, what she learned, than the name of her school. Now Alabama is a great nursing school, so I'm not putting it down at all. But my point being is she didn't need to go to an Ivy League to be a nurse. And then finally, your entrepreneurs. Nobody has ever asked me about all of my degrees. No one. I've got them. They're great. They're prestigious, but nobody's ever asked me once. So was it smart? Well, I graduated without debt. So yeah, it was perfect for me. But what I want families to hear is it's more about your career than it is about the prestige of a college. Who's going to get you that best career fit? Who's going to get you in and out of college without massive debt, right? If you want to be a botanist, would it make sense to pay $100,000 a year to go to NYU? Probably not. So think about it in that regard versus everybody has to go and fight for the number one school. That simply isn't the case.
My personal last question is, you've met so many students over the years. What would you say are the qualities that, what qualities do the happiest or most successful ones tend to share?
Oh, that's so fun. I have a lot of clients who have been really successful, and what I have come to realize is that student who gets to know themselves really well in high school, who they are, what matters most to them, their core values, their passions, their advocacy, who tries them out during community service and leadership, they go into college ready. They just are ready to take that next step. And so the work that you do in high school is not just to get into college, it's to set you up for a successful life. College is a stepping stone to get there. It's not the end game. You don't go to college, you're like, yep, I made it. It doesn't work like that. It's the next step to get to the career that sets you up for success. So to answer your question, the more you know yourself going into college, the better you will take advantage of the opportunities there that will set you up for the success of your future. Good questions.
So since it's probably at the end, we just have one question we ask all of our guests. It's a really fun one. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, Top Gun, 100%.
Top Gun, really?
Top Gun, I think, is such an inspirational movie. I think that for me, it shows that with determination, anything is possible. And that's what I like my students to understand. This is your future. For the first time, you get to choose where you want to go, what you want to study, and your career, right? That's Top Gun. It's just such a fun way to look at it. So instead of looking at college as a difficult road to get to, I would think of it as a stepping stone to your future. It's a lot more fun that way.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. This was a really good conversation for us.
Mhm.
I hope you had fun. Do you have any last remarks for us?
I would just say for students, it's really important if you don't know what you don't know, please ask for help. We're not expecting you to know how to do all of this. It's like playing a sport and not learning the rules of the game. It's hard to win without understanding how to play. For parents, you've got this. Your students really need you at this point, or they need somebody. If it's not you, if you're too busy, that's okay. If you would like a complimentary call with me, all you have to do is go to collegereadyplan.info. If you want free resources, go to collegereadyplan.com/resources. That is my gift to your listeners. Thank you, ladies. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Student Minds. Don't forget to keep spreading joy to yourself and others. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.